This time on Holden content, we change the in-tank fuel pump on the VT Commodore and give the transmission a well-deserved service. Enjoy guys, cheers. It is time to give this diff oil a change. So that drain plug there is 13 mil. I'm tipping it has been a long time since this has been done. Yep, by the feels of that, it has. Holy shit. Oh man. Oh. Oh. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's been on there for a while. Holy crap. This is gonna stink, I reckon, too. Oh. No. Keep going all the way. How's that? Diff oil's always got that putrid smell to it. I think this is going to be the same. Ooh. God. It's like syrup. Oh, it's good anyway. As I said before, we're moving forward anyway with this car. It's been a bit of a slow start, a bit patchy here and there, but like engine's right, that's all sorted down that end. So we'll do this diff, drop that transmission pan out, we'll service that, put a new gasket on it, top her up with oil. So that'll be, the main mechanicals all done on it, and then we can finally move on to the brakes, pan up underneath the guards and that, and the wheel arches, start moving on to some cosmetic things. Once we get these jobs bowled out the way, it'd be great. Looking forward to it. We're sort of starting to make some leeway now, which is good. Be a little bit more consistent with it now. Alright, I'll let that drain out. We'll put the bung back on, and then we'll top her up with some fresh fluid. That's got a nice pong to it, that oil. Alright, all that old oil is drained out. It's a tiny little bit dribbling, that's alright. It's got a lovely pong to it, that's for sure. I was just going through the service books there while that was draining out, and I can't see anything in the bookwork to indicate that that diff oil has been changed in the last 25 years. So not a surprise there. We'll nip that up. Do it. That's our fill plug there, so I'll take that off. And I've got a little hand pump. I'll fill up with oil and pump that in. So that's the diff oil I'm using there. Penrite, 80W90. And just my little pump bottle there. I don't know if you can hear that, it's absolutely pissing down out there. It's an absolutely putrid day. Anyway, I'll put you guys back up here. There we go. I'll undo that filler plug. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not, but that's belting down out there. Holy shit. Wow, that's wild. We gotta get me torch. It's got dark in here. Bloody hell. Jeez. That's coming in sideways. I'll just readjust you guys if you can hear me. How good's Victoria? Said nobody ever. So we'll just keep pumping that diff oil in until it dribbles out of that fill hole, and that's our full level. So we'll just keep pumping away. Good shoulder work out this one. And let me know in the comments, guys, like any video, don't be afraid to drop a comment. Let me know, did you guys grow up with the VT Commodore? Did your mum and dad have one? Did you have one when they were brand new? Have you still got one? Let me know. I'm really interested in them sort of stories. I love that sort of stuff, the nostalgic things. So let us know in the comments. As I sit here with achy shoulders pumping this oil in, let me know. And really, the only reason I took on this VT Commodore, as I've mentioned in the early videos, it was my parents' car. So it's been in the family. I think it was only 12 months old when they got it, 18 months, something like that. So I really want to put it back into its former glory so they can see it. There we go. There's that oil just dribbling out. She's full. Drop a rag there. That's it. Get that out. Throw that bung on. Get on. Yeah, there she goes. It felt like it took a while to get on. Yeah. Hit that up. Clean that up, and then we'll move on to the transmission next. And as I mentioned earlier, once that transmission's done, all these basic service components are done, and then we'll move on to the brakes. They are pretty well rooted, all the brakes on this thing. Put all new fluid in it as well, and then we can slowly start moving on to cosmetic sort of things. We've got a little job list there as well we'll go through. Alrighty, so just going to service the transmission on the VT now. So it's a 16 bolt pan. So what I've done, I'm not going to film the whole thing, but I've just cracked the bolts around the front. I'll do the sides, and I'll sort of just let the pan sort of tilt forward, dribble a bit of oil out into the my little bucket there, my little oil catcher, and then I'll go along the back here and undo the final bolts, drop the pan down, drain all the oil out of the pan, clean the pan up. I'll video all that, but I won't video the whole process, unbolting all them bolts, but that's what I normally do. Across the front, do the sides, both sides. As I said, in the pan, I'll just tilt forward, dribble a bit of oil out into a catch pan, into a drain bucket, and then yeah, we'll go along and then we'll remove the rear bolts and drop it down. Be sure to have plenty of rags and a tarp or some cardboard and all that on hand too. It's quite a messy prick of a job. Also, just going through the service records just before doing this transmission service, 2006 was the last time, so 20 years ago it was done, so about 30,000 kilometers ago. So you can get away with the transmission service for a while but without doing it, but yeah, 20 years is a bit of a stretch. Anyway, we'll poke along and we'll undo the remaining bolts. Also, they're 13mm for reference. Little bucket there. It's quite a messy prick of a job, this. Alright, so all them bolts across the front of the pan, they're completely out. So I'm just slowly chipping away, just undoing these side ones. You can see the oil just dripping from the front there. It is a bloody difficult prick of a job when you're laying on your back under the car like a stranded turtle. It's when you're doing jobs like this you wish you had a hoist. Makes life a lot easier. I'm tipping there's going to be a damn good seal on this pan, even with the bolts removed. It's been that long. I really do not enjoy doing transmission services on these automatics on your back. Yeah, that's got a pretty good damn grip on it, that. What I might do is just get a pry bar very gently in the corner there just to crack that seal, just to let that pan just sort of tilt forward and get a bit more of that oil flowing out. Alright, there you go. So that transmission pan's just tilted forward, as you can see. So we're just getting a bit of that oil out of that pan before I remove the whole lot. It's how I've always done it. It's how it's always worked for me, especially laying on your back like a stranded turtle. No, all good. So I just had to crack that seal just with a pry bar, or you just give it a light tap with a mallet, sorry, just to break that seal. She's been on there a while. All right. As I said, you want to have plenty of rags on hand. Make sure you got a tarp or something down underneath. I've just got a shitload of cardboard. So I'm just removing the remaining bolts now towards the rear of the pan. Just give that a bit of a wriggle to get a bit more oil out of there. We're going good with the VT, as I was saying when we were doing the diff. So once this is out the way, all them mechanical components are all serviced, and we're going well. Like so I've said 100 times already, it's been a damn slow start. We've had other things going on as well, but we're going well. We're good. But once these are out the way, like we'll move on to brakes in the next few weeks. Yeah, get those brakes sorted. Wheels and tyres. I reckon there's a couple of bushes up towards the front, like on the control arms, that need to be replaced, but that's no big deal. Replace them. We're going pretty good, and then we'll sort of start moving on to sort of cosmetic things, which will be handy, exciting to look forward to. Just undo these to rear, speed the process up a little bit. All right, make sure you got good support on that pan. I'm doing this one-handed. That's the last bolt out. We'll slowly lower it down. Hopefully all goes well. Slowly just tip it forward a little bit. Get a bit more of that oil out. That's old transmission fluid, that. Not too bad. It's been a success so far. Alright, we'll get that pan out the way. Clean the pan up. We'll change that filter. Alright, while I'm underneath here, I'm just going to take off that filter. Here's the filter here. That comes in the kit with your new gasket. Should just pop out fairly easily. A little bit of a wriggle left and right. There we go. There's the filter. Empty all the fluid out into the tub there. Beauty. Right, I'll give that pan a empty out and a clean. Whack a new filter in and put the new seal on, and we'll bolt it back up, reverse procedure. So I'll just empty the rest of the remaining transmission fluid into this drain bucket. It's almost like engine oil, it's that dark. Alright, so take a look at the pan. You can see it's pretty dirty and grubby. Been a while, so we'll just give that a bit of a wipe out and a clean, check for any metal particles. Oh, it's black. I'll just get a little bit of brake cleaner on a rag as well, and a cloth. Clean a bit more of that crap out of there. There's obviously no metal or anything in there, so we're all good on that part. It's obviously the little magnet there that if there is any little bits of metal, it will attach to that magnet. It's an old cork gasket too. Hopefully this comes off in one piece. Beautiful. Normally they break into 1,000 pieces. It's good. We'll clean that surface up as well. Might need a bit of a blade on there as well, that's alright. Alright, so transmission pan is all cleaned up. That's the new seal, rubber seal gasket. So to align that gasket up with the holes, I just use a little bit of the rubber grease. It's handy sort of stuff when you're laying on your back trying to line holes up. Try trying to get that gasket to line up's a bit of a pain, so just a few dollops of grease up underneath. I generally just do a little bit in the corners, the 4 corners, and maybe a little bit on the side if you need to. You can just use multi-purpose grease if you like, but I find the rubber's just a bit better. A little bit on the sides there, don't be shy with it. If you find any sort of areas aren't quite lining up properly, just give it a little bit, because the gasket's all been scrunched up sort of in that service kit box. They've probably been sitting for a while. So as you can see, that lines it up quite well. A little bit down the bottom here, and just roughly sort of line your holes up. Gives it a nice bit of a bond to that pan. Beautiful, looking pretty good. A little bit of a hump there, so I might just put a bit there. The filter is fitted up, pretty simple procedure. There's like a I don't know what you call them, like a bit of a washer. Here it is here for reference. It comes with a kit. I could not for the life of me get the old one out. So I've just left the old one in there. I've done that a million times on transmissions before. Leave the old one in there. Doesn't seem to affect it. And for reference, it's a Ryco transmission service kit. Part number there, right where my thumb is. All right, I'm happy with that. That's sitting nicely now. Them holes are all lined up with that gasket. We'll go ahead and lay down on my back and get that refitted. All right, we're just about to bolt this pan back up. So just make sure you give this surface a good clean as well. Any grit that can get in there, give that a good clean up. Any bits of old gasket, whatever have you. All right, we'll get this in. Make sure those holes are properly lined up. Your gasket on your pan, it's all looking pretty good. Alright, let the fun begin. Just throw one down the back here to start with. Hope you guys can see that alright. I've got you mounted on the exhaust there with a magnet. And then I'll work up to the top end, the opposite end, and throw a bolt in there, finger tight. So yeah, obviously I've just gone opposite end. There you go. Now she's holding there. Now just poke along and put the remaining 14 in. Just making sure that your gasket holes and all that line up as well. I think that one's right, yeah. Alright, I'll keep poking along, put the remaining in, then we'll nip them up, top it up with a bit of fluid, we'll get it down on level ground, get it all running, go through all the gears and that, and then we'll recheck the fluid level. Rightio, transmission bolts are all nipped up. So as you would have seen when I put the pan on, I just started at one end, finger tight, went to the opposite end, and that held the pan in place. And then just sort of worked opposite each side from there, bolting up the remaining bolts. Do not over tighten them as well. You don't have to do these dog tight. So there is a specification for it, but I sort of know off the top of my head where that's at. So yeah, just nip them up, otherwise you're going to pinch that gasket and over tighten it. Alright, time to top it up with some transmission fluid. I'll get it back down onto level ground, we'll run it, we'll go through the gears, and then recheck that fluid level. Alrighty, time to top that transmission fluid up. That is the transmission fluid there from Penrite. For reference, I'll just sit you guys up here somewhere so you can watch along. That should be alright, shouldn't get me big head into the picture. So the capacity, transmission capacity is 4.8 litres, I'm pretty sure. So you'll need a 4 litre bottle and obviously a little 1 litre bottle. I'll get the 4 litres in there, then I'm going to get the car back down on the ground and just top it up with the remaining once we're on back on the level ground again. Alright, simple little job. Going to change the air filter. Simply just pop off all the clips. Very straightforward. 6 of them I think it is. Wriggle him up out the way. Take the old filter out. God, there's some crap in there. So if the cameraman just zooms over, you can see all the crap in there. So I'll clean all that up and then we'll fit up a new filter. Alright, so I've just given that air box a bit of a clean out. There's a lot of dirt and debris and all that in there. I don't have a vacuum on me, so I just mopped up what I could. Give the air box a good clean out. New air filter, part number there for reference. So VT V6 obviously, air filter. So that top edge is up top and the filter element down below. Very simple little job you can do. Just make sure it's sitting in there, seated up nicely. Pop the cover back on. Pop all your clips on, all 6. Last one's the most difficult. There we go. Easy as that. Air filter done. Alright, so the time has come to change over this fuel pump. I've been putting it off for a while now, so it's time to get into it. I really am going to be flying blind doing this. I've never done one on a VT, done plenty on VR, VS, VP, VN, all that sort of era. So what I'm thinking, I'll undo, there's obviously 3 tank straps. I'll undo the outside ones, that one, the one on the driver's side. I'll leave the middle one bolted up. I'll do that last, so I can sort of just drop it down from that center one. Drop that down the ground, undo all the plumbing, and also there's that be the vapor line as well on the filler neck, so I'll have to disconnect that. Yeah, we should be right just to drop it down. Otherwise we're just going to wing it. So I think they're, I don't know, 17 mil, something like that. See how we go. We'll figure it out together. It's funny too, because like, I've never come across a fuel pump that's done this. Like it works perfectly fine. Primes, does everything, the car runs, drives, no worries. It's just that constant humming. You've got to have almost a pair of bloody earmuffs on. I'm going to go get the impact driver to get the rest of that off rather than fucking around with a ratchet. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so that's the first tank strap. So as I was saying, The bolt for that one's towards the front of the tank, whereas these two here on the left hand side are at the rear. Don't be a dead shit like me and forget your safety glasses. Sunnies will do for now, because a lot of crap come flying out of that strap, obviously. All the rocks and grime from over the years, all the bits of grit. So yeah, as I was saying, I'll do that left hand one now, and then it'll just be balancing on that center one, and we'll hopefully drop it down with no issues. But yeah, as I was saying before I dropped that camera, no actual issues with the fuel pump that's in it. It's just that humming sound. It drives you insane. Like, you need bloody earmuffs on in the car. Yeah, it's just that humming sound. So, anywho, we're here now. Driver on that. This really is an impact driver. It's a drill bit with a bit on it for a socket. Does the job. Oh God! Where'd that nut go? Under there somewhere. Oh God! I'd lose my head if it wasn't screwed on. What the? Oh, it's in the socket, of course. Alright, that's that outer one. Oh yeah. Might take that off all the way, actually. That left strap, give us some clearance. Don't know if this will crack it. Let's go, but anyway, yep. Try it. No, not alright. Fucking filthy. Alright. So as you can see there, I'll bring you guys down and have a look. Probably can't see there, but the two outer straps, they're out the way, and as I was saying, and she's still mounted by that middle one. So hopefully my theory is slowly undo that middle one, and we can just slowly drop the tank down, then undo all that plumbing. So I might just cut the camera there, have a bit of a play around, and I'll get back to you to let you know how I go. Now, I don't know how well you guys can see that. Let's throw the torch up in there. But there's 3 fuel lines you can see there, and a plug. So we have to undo the plug, and then 3 fuel lines there. They look like the fuel fittings that you squeeze to the side and pull back. And my theory has worked, so I've left that bottom strap bolted up the front there towards the diff, and the tank's just sitting on that. So we'll undo those, unplumb all that, and hopefully drop that tank out the way. Alrighty, fuel tank is out, so not too bad to get it out. So undo your vapor line, that just pops off. from the filler neck. You've obviously got the electrical plug there. There's just a little tab there that you just got to flick over. Then the electrical plug pops out. Then you've got 3 fuel lines. They are quite simply those plastic fittings that you squeeze on the side. Give them a bit of a wriggle. I had to give them a good spray with WD-40. Obviously they've probably never been off since they were attached in the factory. Spray them up with WD-40. Squeeze those tabs, a bit of a wriggle, and then a pull back. So same for all 3 of those. And then obviously, as I've mentioned 100 times, I've got that middle strap still there, and just straddled the tank on the middle strap and just wiggled it out. So that's like a retaining lock for the fuel pump. So we'll just get a hammer and a chisel, turn that anti-clockwise, and then we'll lift the old pump out, put a new one in. So you just got that, obviously that locking collar, that's obviously been on there since the factory. Pull this bad boy out. Oof. Alright, that's the old banger. Alrighty, so that's the old one versus the new. So yeah, she's obviously seen better days, a bit discoloured and all that, but otherwise, like I said, it was working fine. It was just that constant humming. Yeah, couldn't stand it anymore, so it had to be changed. Fuel gauge and all that was working fine in the car itself. So this is a new banger. So that's our float. So we'll just bang our float on, as you can see there. Poke that right in the center of that. That just clips in. You hear that clip. So that's obviously in the empty position, if you will, like on your fuel gauge, when your gauge is down, in that position there. And all the way up for obviously a full tank. Alright, we'll get that new one fitted up to the tank. They also come with that rubber seal as well around the top of your tank there, so to seal up around the top. Alright, so we've obviously got a rubber ring here. That's the old one. When you buy a new fuel pump, it does come with a newie, so that's a new one there. I like to put a bit of rubber grease on them, just so we're not fitting it up dry. Just both sides, just a bit of a coating. Once I get this new fuel pump in, I'm going to, I'll give the tank a good clean as well. Inside's pretty good actually. I stuck the torch in there and it looks pretty good. Like there's bugger all fuel in it. I've run it right down because I had the car running and working on it over the last few months. So I could get a good inspection in there with the low fuel amount. So yeah, normally you get bits of rust and all sorts of shit, but it's pretty clean. All right, we'll get that new fuel pump. Throw that in. Bear with me. Alright, let's fit this bad boy up. So, new pump, fuel pump. You probably can't quite see on the camera, but there's a little nick just in there. And on the fuel pump itself, just where my finger sort of is there, there's a little bit of a keyway. So that keyway just sits in that little groove, that little nick there. That's how you know it's lined up in the correct spot. And let's fight, there's that little nick there. Get the float and the filter in. Also put your that retaining collar on as well first. That's it, these are in, she's in. Alright. And give that a bit of a hit. So hitting that clockwise. That's it. It's as far as she's going to go. Alright, now for the fun part, to lift it back up under the car and get it all plumbed up. I won't film plumbing it all back up. It really is just a reverse procedure. So bang your fuel lines back on, your 3 fuel lines. If you're not sure what fuel lines are what, mark them, you know, different coloured paint markers, different coloured cable ties. Same with the fuel lines up under the car as well. Obviously that's your electrical plug. Like I said, and reverse procedure, and also your breather on the filler neck as well. Yeah. Obviously it'd be easier if you had another pair of hands doing it, but I don't have that today. But before I do fit it up, I'm just going to give it a bit of a spray with some degreaser and just a bit of a wipe over. Well, that's cleaned up pretty good for what it is. I'll just do a little bit around the filler neck there. I'll get that refitted. Rightio, so tank is back up and in. So first thing you want to do is try and get that filler neck lined up. So all I done was WD-40 around that rubber grommet, so it can just pop through that filler hole there, pop that in. Try and balance the thing and put that middle strap back on, and then nip that up with the 17mm and she's in place. So now we're just going to continue on with this left hand strap and the right hand strap. Also don't forget that earth cable as well. So we'll do that and then we'll kick her in the guts and cross our fingers and pray for the best. Alright, time for the outer strap. If you are doing this job, guys, I'd recommend having another pair of hands. Yeah, it was a bit of a prick doing it by myself. Where are we? But yeah, not a bad job really. Like shit, I've done a hell of a lot worse on this car. But yeah, if you had another pair of hands, geez, it'd be a hell of a lot easier, that's for sure. Especially putting it back in, like getting it out's not bad. It's just going back in, trying to balance it, trying to get that filler grommet up through the filler hole there. Submit them up with a hand socket if I can find the thing. As I said, I'd lose my head if it wasn't screwed on. Pretty good. Check that one over the back. Stay tuned for a SS driving video as well. At the time of filming this video, hopefully going to get it out tomorrow. Early Saturday morning, possibly go down the Great Ocean Road, try and beat all the tourists. So stay tuned for that one. Alright, I'll just take you guys off there. Got you mounted on the tow bar. So same thing again, I've said it 100 times with the straps. So we've done the left hand side just then, and then we'll do this right hand side, and that's it. I won't film that. Pretty straightforward. The one on the driver's side just mounts up in there, clips in, and there's only one bolt up the front there on the other side, just in front of that shocker. All right, here we go. Let's see if it works. Geez, it's very quiet when it primes. You can barely hear it. Oh, how good's that? No more humming. Oh, so good. Good result. Whew. Fuel gauge is all working, I assume. Alright, so everything works with the fuel pump. The only thing not working was the fuel gauge. So I got underneath there, had a bit of a look around, and I discovered that the earth wire was actually broken. So this here goes under one of the bolts that mounts the tank strap, and as you can see there's a little female spade, like that one there. That's a new one. The wire had simply just broken off that spade, as you can sort of see there. Therefore, that's why we had no fuel gauge. So we'll take a look underneath the car. Crawl under. So there you go there. I don't know if you can quite see that. There's your earth cable there. So that's where the female spade had just broken off that little bracket there. That little bracket just bolts up under that bolt there for that tank strap that runs on the driver's side here. So yeah, I'll be checking that, guys. So that's why I had no fuel gauge. I did dummy it up last night just to make sure that was it. Once I did roughly plumb that up just to give it a bit of a test, the gauge started working. So I'll just simply cut it off there and put a new female spade on it, bolt that back up, and we should be all good. Alright, so I've just rewired that earth strap there. As you can see, I just cleaned the end of that wire up a little bit. Got a female spade, crimped that on, and you've got that little earth sort of bracket there that goes onto that bolt that holds that driver side tank strap in place. So yeah, that's something I'll be checking, guys. Just check the condition of that earth strap. Something very simple. I assume that's why the gauge wasn't working. I did dummy it up last night and it was, so yeah, that would be the reason, obviously. So we'll slide out from under the car, go and check our gauge. Fingers crossed, I've got faith. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, like she's got bugger all fuel in her, but yeah, no, that's good. What have we got to empty? 65k, 70k, so that was coming up zero. And yeah, the fuel gauge was right below that red mark, so no, that's all good. Back in business now. So that's a wrap on this episode, guys. So mechanically, she's pretty well right. We are getting there. Next up, we will attack the brakes. She needs a new power steering rack and just a couple of suspension bushes. So we are moving forward with it, which is great. So until next time, guys, take it easy and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.